This is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down. And if you roll another blunt and keep your mouth shut, I tell you how I became the wicked nigga they call your life. Blackout, 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 yeah. Hey, blackout, man. They speak highly of me when I raise my voice. I gotta shoot a fucking free throw to make my point. My wittiness leave them stuck in the wilderness.
Alright, so I still need just a tiny bit more info. So let me see where I'm at here. That would be our only identity. Okay. He's still talking about Ruri. No one would know her smile, or her little quelps, or the way she bit her lip when she was nervous about something. No, the name Ruri Hayata would only bring nods of pity, despondent sighs, and if she was really lucky, a fuel for movement for treatment of mental illness or weapon control or other political objectives. And then as days pass on, as time becomes months and years and decades, she'll be forgotten forever. Drowned out in the name of the other victims. Yeah, okay. Drowned out in the name of other victims that would be remembered with nothing but nods of pity and despondent sighs. Nothing but non-existence. Irie suddenly appears and stares at me with such intensity that I swear she's almost real. Do not lose focus. Her image blurs at the edge, rounding out, hair turned orange, and gosh, you're a wreck. What happened? Open my mouth. A feeble, unintelligent noise bleeds out. You try to do too much, Yama. That's the problem. You want to do everything, but everything becomes so overwhelming for you that you just end up doing nothing. You can only do what you can. The rest is out of your hands. I can only do what I can. Yeah, and right now all you can do is figure out who the killer is. You're up for that much. It said you're up for that much, right? So you're stuck because you think the killer has to be you, me, Yakihiko, or Misato, right? No, it doesn't have to be just y'all. I guess. My voice comes out, my very small. I squash the temptation to reach out, touch her jacket, hear like her hair, anything. Because right now she's not real. Right now she might not even be. Are you paying attention? No. Wow. I think I finally know what it's like to be one of your teachers. Cough out a cross between a chuckle and a snort. So close to reality, but it's not. Then, known teacher, what do you have to say? Well, your passcode is literally so stupid that anyone who saw it just once could probably get in. But that's not the problem. The problem is that the killer knows about my lasses. No, wait. There's something strikingly familiar about what she said. Didn't she mention this before? Didn't she say something like this before? There's something vitally important about that statement. Your passcode is literally so stupid that anyone who saw it just once could get in. What sticks out so much? It's a couple things that stick out with that. It says anyone. Anyone. That anyone who saw it could get in. The killer could have been anyone, so as long as they see me enter my code. No, that's too strange. It's like I show my code to the world when I enter it. And even if the killer somehow did see it at some point, there's no reason for him to memorize the entry of some random kid. There was something else. One thing that I just No is important. Okay, so I got that one wrong. My passcode. Your passcode. But is that really right? Was something wrong with my passcode? No, it doesn't line up. It's my apartment. Why wouldn't it be my passcode? Hmm. What is up with this? Okay, so obviously then, just once. Just once. She'd been talking about someone who had seen my code just once. And someone who commented on how stupid it was. Ugh. Your code's the stupidest possible code that exists on the planet. Even Mr. Ryota pointed out how stupid it was. Juro Ryota. Wait, no. Don't tell me I really didn't. Yo, don't tell me I kept my eye on this guy this whole time. And the one time decided to slowly just slide off. And that's who I was forgetting in the deduction video. I kept skipping this guy. I really kept skipping this guy. Because at first I kept thinking, I'm like, okay, so blah, 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 blah. But it makes sense now. It makes sense now. Because Haru would only trusted Ryota. Shoot, I would have only trusted Ryota. In many circumstances. Because I'm like, this dude's too laid back. And that's what I always was saying. Like, he's too laid back. And that's why I was always leaning towards this guy. And then it makes sense because I'm like, he runs curfew. A man who helped me move into my apartment, who commented on how stupid the code was, who certainly would have remembered it. A man who knew all his victims because they were fighting psychological problems and he was the school counselor. A man who knew the security of the school inside and out, yet would not be up to date with the latest features of a smartphone, like a wall charger. A man who was strong enough to inflict the same wounds as the serial killer. Smart enough to outmaneuver the police, controlled enough to fake sanity in the day. A man who after curfew is free from his duties. And a man who would approach me after seeing me at Haru's murder site. Surprised that I didn't seem to remember what had happened. A man who would certainly be curious at my unusual reaction. A man who could access the confidential school records and learn about my losses from there. A man who I trusted. Yep. You trusted him too much. Why? It's not you. There's something I missed. Proof? A theory? Anything? Why did it have to be you? You damn old geezer, like why did you even? Why? The silence of finality of the door that's been opened that can never be closed. Man, the one time I did not like stick with this guy. I should have told Shigari everything. So the whole thing as far as the police goes, Ryota's been doing the killings, but who has he been killing for? Who's been helping him? Who's been helping him? Okay, so you know what I'm gonna do? How much time did I spend on that? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna compound that into the other episode, cause this is probably when shit get real. All right, but yeah, I was so close. I should have stuck with my answer. Ryota, it makes sense now though. Ryota could easily have me turning against my friends, cause this guy controls me more than I can control myself. But it's like this guy makes too many mistakes though. This guy made too many mistakes though. Like from the beginning since I known him. One was the fact that you would like so casually mention that you are the guy that runs curfew. Cause like for Yama, like yeah, that instantly gives me like a okay, so like he obviously cares about the students and all that type of thing. It's just somehow like this is going above his head. Like no, it's not going above your head. You're messing up. You the one messing up. And it's only one reason you could be messing up. Or it's one reason why like these students were able to check in and then they was able to leave in a campus that you can't leave. Like somebody would have had to been watching the entrance, and it's only you. Like shoot, I ain't stupid. The only thing I was stupid in was slowly trying to drag you off the suspect list, but even then I couldn't do it because some was always up. I'm like always had to go with the people that would know his condition, and the only way Shigare could know like Yama's condition would have been if Nazuki mentioned it or something to the odd, but that's coincidence. So I'm assuming. Okay, so I'm gonna get back into this episode, but what I'm assuming is that Shigare knows that it was Ryota already. Like she already knows. And Ryota, like because he's part of the school, he's technically part of the government, which technically means that it's like Persona 5 basically. Like the government has connections to the school. Like instead of it being like the police have connections to the school. Like no, the actual government, like politicians, all that, they would have more access to the school versus the police. Like the police are just there to protect and serve. Or if anything, like they would be being controlled. But as far as police controlling the school, that's usually never the case. It's usually higher ups. And it makes sense that would be Ryota because I'm like his position. His position is easily like fodder for like politicians, like like super head cops, or like even it's like people that would be above Shigare's level. It's like mafia and all that. It's like yeah, mafia could easily influence the school depending on who the principal is, like who works for them. Yep. All right, I'm back in it now. All tension leaves my body. I can vaguely feel myself slumping on the subway bench, neck uncontrollably stretched to accommodate the weight of my head. Mr. Iota, my mentor, my friend, and the serial killer. You're really different today, Yama. What's bothering you? Back then, I should have seen it. Because hadn't anyone else noticed? Why was Ryota the only one who thought something had happened that night? Who, me? Nah, I'm pretty much a free bird after I verified curfew. Had my suspicions. I'd known that there was something odd about him. It's like, yeah, me too, but I didn't want there to be. I wanted it to wave it away. I wanted to trust Mr. Ryota. I wanted just one person who understood everything and stayed on my side. And that's why he stayed on your side. Well, there's no explicit rule saying I can't use the confidential databases. I'm pretty sure there is. Nope. I may be faculty, but I'm not a teacher. It's only stated that teachers have to request special permission. I checked the loopholes. I know how the entry application for students. I know how the student application to the academy requires a psychological analysis by a qualified physician, right? Yeah, another security measure, isn't it? Let me read this and see what you think. He knew about my last visit, not because I told him, but because he had access to the psychological overviews of each student. he would have known each of the victims. Maybe they were assigned to his counseling care, just like I was. Yeah, I hate computers. But we'd all be dead without them. Oh wait, that's me. But we'd all be dead without them. No, it was great. My desktop iPad, man, that was great. Stable, awesome, in the killer world of the fan. You guys don't know how satisfying it is to hear your computer keep itself cool. 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 It's kind of weird. No casual usually has desktops anymore. Oh, and Acheon phones, man. Phones these days break if you breathe on them. Oh, if you breathe on them wrong. They could have probably survived the nuclear blast. Alright. Hold on, y'all. I'll be back. I'm gonna get me some coffee. Now, where was I? Oh, yeah. They can probably survive a nuclear blast. A nuclear blast. A nuclear blast. Ah, and there we go. Finally working. Of course, man. I knew he was from the hood. He knew about computers. Not an avid follower of electronics, not enough to know about weed, but enough to know about phone batteries. Instead of detention, the teacher's convinced that I need more, need a more permanent solution. Like death? I can help you with that. Yo, that's hilarious, man. That is hilarious. No, cause if y'all was to watch episode 2, I can remember that far back. If y'all was to watch episode 2, I made that a joke too. I was like, oh, hold on, I can't say that, my dude. It's like, sorry, I said that's some hood tendencies. So how's the apartment? Still in one piece mostly. Good to hear. And Phil, the little houseplant, the one I placed on your shelf. Your memory sucks more than mine, kid. Wow. How do you have this much free time? Life as a dorm manager is just swell, isn't it? Like die-cut pieces of a complex puzzle. All the facts and memories line up in perfect succession. To the point where Fost is probably slapping himself thinking like, it's like, why didn't I stick with my answer till the very end? You know what? Because in the end, you know what, y'all? Because in the end, Mr. Ryota was my guy too. He was my homie. He's my homie too. And I ain't wanted to be him deep down. Because you don't get dorm managers this cool. You just don't. But the killer is Mr. Ryota. Now I know it with certainty. Like, it's just like I know I can sit on a chair and it'll support my weight. Because I'm that light. But Fost, you ain't. Or I can walk under a bridge and it won't fall on top of me. Sure, I may not be light like you, bro, but I still got muscle. I got muscle. See, I just don't know what to do next. Of course you don't. Shouldn't there be a sense of triumph? A miniature party in the back of my head giving me a cookie for successfully finding out the killer. Something keeping me going. Something propelling me to the next step. I know the identity of the killer. Shouldn't I report this? But to whom? I'm on the run from the police, who may or may not be corrupt. I can hardly show my face at school. And if I called Mr. Ryota, well, that simply wouldn't do anything. For the most part, it feels like I should just give up. There's nothing further to head to. No way out of this conundrum I've worked myself into. The situation requires me to be clever. more clever than I can be. I want to think myself out, find some magical solution, but sometimes it's just not there. Reaching into an empty bag and expecting handfuls of gold. Then is it? Is this it? Am I done? Am I screwed? Someone's calling me. Maybe I'll pick it up on the other end. I'll hear the dead voice of Rui's parents saying that Rui has been found. But as a bleeding, mutilated corpse bone, I drop my phone and this time I shatter it completely, crushing into pieces like little fragments, sandy string pulling me together. Or maybe it's just a call from Lemonscape, a bid from police that I'll be stupid enough to pick up. He has a point there. I must save, because he's right. But if I don't, what then? I'll be left to fend for myself. Somehow I have to extract Rui safely and catch Ryota and somehow stay alive. Is it even possible, or do I need help? No matter how much I despise it. Answer it. No, I have to pick this up. Facing Ryota myself will only result in both Rui and me killed. With shaking fingers, I answer the call. Hello.
Yama Ishimoto, I need you to listen carefully. This is my personal phone. It cannot be tracked. The number you have been contacted until now has been my work phone.
I need to hang up now. Surely that's tracking my number. Narrowing down to this strict block and even the last milliliter, but I only clutch the phone tighter. The walls that have built up, struggling to keep a foothold on my emotions, are starting to crumble. The police are in the midst of a manhunt for your person. They sincerely believe that you are the killer. And you need me to turn myself in?
I need you to stay out of sight and give me some time.
What? Is this some kind of next level bait? I don't understand.
Don't get caught, Ishimoto. Anytime you might give me is the time we dedicate to catching the true killer.
But you said
you were the only suspect I could trust to avoid the police for a necessary amount of time.
I fall into silence at this, the magnitude of her statement only growing more. I pondered. You saw me at the apartments and were warning me.
You were hardly inconspicuous. So if you happen to possess any previously unknown information regarding the identity of the killer, now would be a wonderful time to state as such.
Could be a trap. It could still be a trap. But I don't think it is. The killer is Jiro Ryota, the dorm manager and counselor of the academy. Silence falls momentarily on the other end. I could practically see Shigure's grip tighten.
What? What? How did you come to know this?
Shigure, did you get any recent disappearance reports?
3, actually.
I need help, Shigure. I need help. Help! My voice cracks and I hate it. I hate feeling vulnerable, feeling open. But I don't have a choice. Shigure falls silent for a long moment, and just when I'm beginning to think that she's hung up, she speaks.
Will you live within the next 5 minutes?
Her voice slow and steady, soothing my frazzled nerves. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm not injured.
Then, the urgency.
Rui's disappeared. I work to speak, but my throat's gone dry. After a moment of silence, Shigure continues.
You presume she's with the killer?
He must have taken her.
I have no time to question you, Ishimoto. So I will ask you this, and this only. Are you completely, absolutely certain that the culprit is Jiro Ryota?
Yes. I say it without hesitation. It appears to catch her off guard.
Very well. I shall send forces to the academy under the reason that you may be hiding there. We may be able to find where he is holding Rui.
That's it? She just takes my word as law? Thanks.
In the meantime, stay out of sight and out of mind. Do you understand that? You have to be Johnny McKenzie.
Johnny McKenzie? J-Rock? Oh yeah, just in case y'all wondering, yeah, I'm about to put a clip in there later.
Out of sight, out of mind, feeling like I'm running out of time. Out of sight, out of mind, and
But Mr. Oh wait, let me chill. But Mr. Viola would see the police coming. He wouldn't stand still. He would escape immediately after killing Ruri. Actually, I'm planning on contacting him.
For what purpose?
I need to meet with him to buy some time. Otherwise, Shigure violently explodes into a strident screams that I've never heard from her before.
You gullible imbecile! You moronic excuse for what are you even thinking?
I'm taken aback by her sudden flare of passion, but my surprise is quickly replaced by I don't know what that word is. At least I'm telling you now, aren't I?
Oh yes, when it was nearly too late and I would have caught a corpse. Simply put, Ishimoto, you haven't told me anything. Why would you not speak to me if you knew the identity of the killer?
A very bolt of anger lances through me. Why? Because I just figured it out. Because somehow, barely at the end of my rope, I found something to cling on to. But I can't tell her that. If I say that I figured it out, she might change her mind. She might need reasoning. Who would trust a teenager who just figured out the supposed identity of a serial killer? I had a good reason in doing so.
Oh, good. Enlighten me, you asshole.
What, you can't just believe me? Need to throw some more tests? Another little riddle run in District 6? Hell, was that investigation in the school just another goose chase? A little funny game to see how the kids at the academy danced? How they, did the tango? How they did the salsa?
What are you saying, Ishimoto?
You're right, I guess. Even when I was figuring out who the killer was, I didn't call you. I didn't ask you for help. Because I knew what you would say. You'd poke holes at me. You say that my reasoning didn't make any sense. You would need empirical evidence. What is that? Empirical? Empirical evidence? I knew that you wouldn't have believed me. You never needed me even as your assistant in the first place. Cold silence descends.
I wouldn't have believed you.
Then something happened, something that I thought to be impossible. Shigeru's voice cracks.
But you didn't even try. I would have believed you. I would. If you had just trusted me. If you just...
She falters for a moment, then seems to recover, her voice strengthening.
Ishimoto, regardless of my previous insinuations, I need you to know something. I do not tolerate the idiocy of the average ingenious denizen, much less let them become my personal assistant. You have repeatedly proven yourself through your rational deductions, your level-headed procedures, and your promptness to attack problems from unusual angles. Your input is invaluable. Despite our clear disparity in experience, you've taught me several valuable lessons. Do you wish to know why I pulled your accomplices into the investigation rather than opting for a police unit? Simply put, my permissions in the case were barred from the academy. All information I was given was secondhand, and thus easily corruptible. However, I was impressed by how you and your accomplices worked wholeheartedly. Yama Ishimoto, I have faith in you.
Her words pierced through me, frozen in shock, wordlessly opening and closing my mouth. She already believes in me. I don't know how to react, but after the meeting with Natsuki, you
fired you? That was for your own benefit, you imbecile. Or your eyes too... never mind.
This familiar type of response rings a chuckle out of me, but my mind is still racing. I have faith in you? Those simple little words. Words that tell me that I can do something, that acknowledge my effort, that tell me it's okay. You'll do the right thing. In the distance, I catch the faint glimmer of the approaching subway held by a distant echo of the announcer's voice. Sudden clarity breaks me out of my mind as if every disjointed piece just fell into place. I know what to do. Thanks, Shigare. I get to my feet as the subway grinds to a halt before me. But Shigare's voice comes harshly into my earpiece. Well, Okay.
Yama, listen carefully. We are en route, but there are powerful forces behind this case that remain very hostile. It will take time to arrive. You understand this?
I do. I'll get you time.
I am extremely uneasy at the thought of knowingly sending a civilian to the presence of a known serial killer. But if you honestly believe you can prevent a death tonight, I shall not stop you.
I think I can. No.
I know I can. Oh well, that sounds convincing.
I probably can. I mean, shoot. Like, I'm the star of this. Like,
It's like, what? Oh, none. I suppose that's the best I can ask for. I wish that you might wait until I could convey a firearm to you, but
not possible with the current time frame. I have to go. Now. Neither of us mentioned that it would be extremely illegal.
Understood. Best of luck, Kishimoto.
One sec, still on call. I punched Ryota's contact and set the phone on speaker, waiting patiently. Shigare apparently understands, not a word crosses her lip. Finally, a neutral indicates that Ryota's picked up. Hello. Hearing his voice makes me freeze. This voice that's comforted me, guided me, made me laugh. In the end, it left just everything else. Quickly shake it off, trying to muster my words. He's an enemy now, a stranger. A feigned ignorance. Maybe I can still grab an advantage. Hey, Mr. Ryota. Hey, kid. That's when I realized something is terribly wrong. It's ungodly hour in the morning, and yet he picked up immediately, and he sounds wide awake. Almost as if he's been preparing for this moment. Mr. Ryota, say, you have great timing. I was wondering if we could meet up. I know that it's like some crazy hour or another, but I have something pretty important to tell you. It has to do with, your lapses. Is it really? Is that why he's up? Can't bring myself to believe that. Mr. Ryota, but before I can hold anything, Mr. Ryota's phone buzzes angrily in the background. He pauses for a moment. Sorry, kid. Just let me take this call real quick. He suddenly mutes. Fingers shaking also mute my end, switching to Shigare's call. Did you hear all that? Quite clearly. Ishimoto, about that phone call Ryota just received. I'm uneasy that perhaps. But that's when I hear Ryota's voice and I quickly switch back to his call and unmute. Thankfully, Shigure immediately falls silent. Mr. Ryota? Mr. Ryota, did you find anything out about... Nice try. You almost had me. Hang up that call with the police first. Then we'll talk. I almost dropped the phone in a bolt of panic lacing into my chest. He knows. How could he? Hurry up, boy. I don't have all day. Shakily mute and switch the call. I expect Shigure to burst in anger, but she only seems resigned. It is as I surmised. A mole? That or she trails off as a thought is too terrible to comprehend. Ishimoto, knowing this new risk, you are still determined to enter the school? I have to. I can't let Rui go without a fight. I shall bring a unit. Give us as much time as you possibly can. I will. In Ishimoto, given the choice between a stupid option and a stupider option, which would you pick? The less stupid one? Wrong. You pick neither. And wait. Please, Ishimoto. You wouldn't enter the lottery nor borrow from a loan shark in order to buy a house, no? It's best to wait and save. Do you understand? What? Just remember this. She hangs up, leaving me alone in the subway. She's saying, just remember this. I switch back to Ryota's call and unmute. He chuckles lightly. If you just ask the police for help, I wouldn't count on it. You don't know a thing, do you? Oh wait, you don't know a thing, do you? I know you're the murderer. That's a pretty good start. Hey, murderer is such a harsh term. I like to call myself an artiste. With an E. He chuckles again, but this time it comes with a pitch of shrillness that wasn't there before. Foreboding only rockets. Just what kind of insanity has he been hiding? So, hung up the call. Now what? Quite simply, the fun begins. Come to my play, boy. I've been setting the stage. It just confirms my fear. For reasons, Ryota's been preparing to kill me. Maybe I'm next on his list. No, I can't let this shake me. I have to stay strong. Talk normally. You've done it before. The false bravado of a man in love. I know it well. Did I really sound like that? I wonder. It's so terribly stupid. Are you going to answer my questions, or are you going to wax more poetry? Poetry. By far. Interesting. Don't you think? Only for people with too much time on their hands.
And that is the eternal problem, my boy. For both of us, we have too much time on our hands. Far, far too much. Doesn't that just get so dull? Every hour passing dearly like a never ending group project where all you want to do is murder your classmates. That's what life is. How do you ease your boredom? I wonder. Television? Social media? No, you do neither. And sleep. Thanks, Shakespeare. But I think my life is my own business. I look forward to stripping that sense of righteousness, anger within you and replacing it with terror. I look forward to you trying. I love the ones that fight back. It just makes their descent all the more satisfying. Before I can respond, he plows on, his voice gradually rising in pitch. Now, let's set the stage, shall we? I thought you were taking care of that. Oh, don't worry. I'll be taking care of all the props. Do you hear me, boy? Do you bring any extra props? Don't do that. Don't bring any extra props. The thought never crossed my mind. Leave your phone and any police toy at the entrance. I'll see if you try to smuggle something into the theater. Understand?
Is that it?
Not quite. Why are you so hasty to end the call? And I'm boring you?
Sure, let's go with that.
Then I'll get straight to the point.
There's a brief moment of silence, punctuated only by faint tones of Ryota punching numbers into his phone. Then I hear a voice. Yama? Yama, don't you dare do anything stupid. Nothing hits me, but it's like all the breath has sunk out of my lungs. Rui? Stay there. Don't come. I wordlessly open and close my mouth, desperately searching for the words. My mind only runs blank.
I'm sure you're aware of this, but right now, I am the master of Rui's fate. So you might want to think on the good side.
Like shit.
This is what's going to happen. You come to the back of the school, you know, the garbage truck route. You're going to dump all your toys. Then I'll let you in.
How? There's no entrance.
Why is it that you all say the same thing? Boring. Well, there will. Boy, there is a way. Where there is a will,
there is a way. So that's it then.
Well, actually, I feel like I should tell you this. Just out of kindness of my pure heart.
Rui won't be there.
For insurance purposes, I'm sure. You understand.
My fingers clamp in a death grip on my phone. What do you mean Rui won't be there?
Hush, child. Why are you so impatient? Right now,
Rui's in safe hands of a third party.
So long as you listen to my words. So, we meet up, have a little chat, and I'll let Rui go. Everyone gets their happy ending, except the police, who, well, you know, they don't do anything anyway. Beautiful arrangement, no? Speak now or forever hold your peace. I grind my teeth and force along a slow breath. If I go, I won't be able to see Huey with my own eyes. She could be anywhere. Even when Shigari comes, we won't be able to find her. But am I really in a position to be banking demands? Actually, you know what? Yeah, I've probably been having this run. Alright, so we'll find out next episode. Like, will I be accepting his demands or refusing his demands?
DJ Young Sean mixtapes.
Bitches say they wanna cuff me, I'm hip. Low-key, they just wanna fuck me, I'm hip. Niggas going broke, buying liquor, trying to get bitches drunk just to hit. Talking down on the hoe, but low-key, he in love with that bitch, I'm hip.